idle, and then add some brake. There you go. Nice. Good job. That's really smooth. Okay, let's go back the other way. Well, I like it. I like what we've done today. So you're one of the guys that messaged me about having this brake handle in the wrong position. Well, that's perfect timing. I was just talking about this. I'm glad you called me. And I saw that 5 or 6 of you put a comment in that I had this in the wrong position. So I had this in emergency. Well, what are these notches? So emergency, service. The next one is holding, then running. And there's one more, release. So I want it in running. Then the top portion of the valve, which is just the locomotive, I won't have to blow that off so much. It'll just release. Well, no, I never did claim to be real smart, but I'm really glad you called. Okay, we're going to start this up and try it in that position. And thank you so much for clarifying this for me. I knew one of you guys could, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I've got it in running now. I really appreciate your input. Thank you. Yep. Talk to you again. Well, you know, between today's guest that's going to help us with the load meters and the guy that just called about the brake valve, it just makes me think that East Terminal Railway Nation has got so many people that are knowledgeable and helpful. I'll bet if we put our collective talents and efforts together, we could build the Transcontinental Railroad. We've got engineers, conductors, I'll bet we've got a nurse and a doctor, truck drivers, equipment mechanics, accountants. I know we've got a couple safety guys. That department's headed by Peter Cruikshank. So I'm amazed at the skill and abilities you guys have. So maybe we'll build a railroad. Something that does kind of concern me is the guy at the top. He's got a drinking problem. It is coffee, but it's kind of a drinking problem. He wears a hard hat almost all the time and can never find a tape measure. So my concern is the guy at the top. It's you guys, I have full confidence in. So we're going to try this with it in the correct position. I'll bet this is going to be so much better. Thank you guys for your comments on the brake valve. This is a K14. When we're moving cars, we'll get better at this and we'll give some instruction on the correct positions and usage. Thank you. So the problem we've got is that this meter loads backwards. Now, we didn't change the wiring, but here's an example of what it looks like. See the needle jump the wrong way? They're both going the wrong way now. Look at this. So we're going to shut it down, find the problem. We'll be back in just a minute. So we're here working in the cabinet. I thought I would introduce you to today's guest. I like when I've got people here that know more than I know. So I went to vocational school and took machine shop. Tim, on the other hand, Air Force, active duty for years as an avionics technician, now Air Force Reserve. He works for SpaceX and drives a Tesla. Compare that to me. I drive a $400 Xterra and my favorite tool is a sledgehammer. So that's the crew we have today. Now what we're doing is, for some reason, both load meters went in the opposite direction when they had a load. Now we've got both engines running and both engines loading. So we're making progress, but now we're just checking to see if the leads on the back were misplaced. If we start this up next time and the gauges load in the right direction and both of them load together, then we've been successful. It's truly weird. So we just got fooled by the needle not moving, but these gauges, the lenses are loose. So what we're gonna have to do is take these gauges out, clean them, and then you put a little dot of super glue back behind. So watch this load this time. We'll try it one more time. There we go. See, it was the lens holding it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to switch the wires on the back of this. If we leave here today with both engines running, both load meters showing load in the correct direction, and both of them loading equally, that's a big day on the East Terminal Railway. Okay, so Tim, our avionics technician, has been in the cabinet. We've got the leads switched. We're going to throw in the knife switch. Then we're going to lift up on that mushroom button. We're going to restart what they call the south end. We're going to wait for oil pressure. Okay, now let's see if this end will load by itself with the meter showing the correct direction. Didn't move at all. See if north end will start. The problem is I can't hear it at all. See if it's turning. Wait a minute, ready? Nothing? Oh, okay, ready? Okay, we have oil pressure. As it should be, there's an interlock on the direction. You can't start it in a direction. I can see shouldn't start it if the throttle's open, but I got to get used to that. So here's our test on if either load meter works. Doesn't hardly make sense. We're gonna look into it. Okay, so we're inside the cabinet. What we're doing, we're just simply switching the leads on the back of the meter. I don't know who and how and why this was wired like this, but both load meters were reading backwards, so we're making the switch now. We've switched the wires on the back of the amp meters. These show load on the traction motors. That's this meter right here and this meter right here. They show load. We've reversed them now to see if the needle goes the right direction. But the question is, on the reverser down here, when we throw the handle to go in forward and we go backward, when we fix that problem, will the load meters change? So we've stopped for lunch here in this big rewire project, and we're learning. Tim from the state of Washington had never had White Castle before. Okay, now open the throttle. There's on the end of it, there's a button. There you go. Less. Okay, do that again. I want to watch the load meter. Yep, look at the load meters. That's nice. Okay, back off. And then apply a little bit of brake right here. Okay, now close the throttle all the way. Put the reverser the other direction. We'll go back the other way and blow the brakes off and then crack the throttle just a little bit. Look at the load meters. I like it. Both ends running, both ends loading. Maybe it does take an avionics technician. When that red needle starts coming up, you've got some locomotive brakes on. See it right there? So right there, we're ready to go that way some more. So come this way. Okay, shut her down a little. We're giving locomotive operating lessons here on the East Terminal Railway. The throttle all the way shut. Yeah, that's what you want when you're going to change directions or really even coast. So let's go back the other way. We might adjust that so the throttle comes up a little smoother. I like that. Look at that. They're both at about 150. South end looks like it's loading a little bit heavier. Okay, shut her down and bring it to a stop. Go all the way to idle. When you feel it click,
Yep,
yeah. Nice. Good job. Well, this has been a success. Thank you, Tim, for your input and your help. Nice. Glad you were here today. Okay, go idle and then add some brake. There you go. Nice. Good job. That's really smooth. Okay, let's go back the other way. This is a good day on the ETR. We just fixed the loading problem. Both engines running smooth, and loading the same. A little bit of a, see the idle's up higher without, let's see what happened here. Have you got red needle? No, brake's not on. Just go open it back up again, let's see what happens. Yeah, there you go. We were just, I'm gonna adjust it so the idle, like right there, it's producing. Go past that point a little bit and see if it moves. The locomotive moves. Yeah, here the contactors come in. I'm gonna change that so it comes in quicker. Like right now it's not in. Yeah, well it's a throttle adjustment out on the engine. Yeah, where somebody had marked it previously, yeah. Well, what I want it to move as soon as you hear the throttle coming up, the contactor should come in. See what I mean? That's pretty close. Well, I like what we've done, and we've got some more fine adjustments to make. So this is our demo run of the 2021, getting better all the time. That's both engines running, both engines loading equally. Tim at the controls. Soon we're gonna have a training program for operators, but right now we're operating under more relaxed rules. That end does smoke a little bit. Now the engines aren't completely warm. Well, I like it. I like what we've done today. I like the progress. Sometimes I compare what I do to a boa constrictor, where each day you just make an incremental move. You slowly tighten down on your goal by making little adjustments every day. Squeeze. So I've got Graham back today. He's been in Cleveland on a long-term project, but here helping with the electrical issues and here to run it, to put it away for the day. It was a great day. Always nice having Graham around. Look forward to having him back from Cleveland. It seems like it idles too high before the contactors come in. Isn't that weird with the reverse or the wrong direction? It just... That clunk, I'm gonna look into that too. I think I know what that is. Did you see that needle slow to move? That's the lens hanging up on the needle. See it?
Yeah. How far past do you want this?
That's good. Well, I don't know that we're gonna have enough light for this little expedition, but last time I was running this, I heard a big clunking noise, and I've got a sneaking suspicion I know what it is. Okay, so I'm underneath the locomotive. I was hearing a clunking noise when we were running it back and forth, and I wanted to show you. This is the traction motor. This is a 763 GE. We got to get a bottom cover on that. But the clunking was where this stack of pads, sometimes there was a spring on here, sometimes it's just these pads, but see that area up there? That's where this whole thing has been going up and hitting. So when you go the opposite direction, the torque of the motor pulls this gear case down and there is no clunk. When you change directions, the motor, before it wants to turn the wheel, wants to lift this gear case. It would spin all the way around the axle if you let it, but of course it cannot because of this frame and this bolt. Well, when that goes up there and hits, that's the clunking that I was hearing, and you can see that gap right there. That's the gap that we need to take out by adjusting this bolt, maybe replacing a couple of these crushed washers, big Fabrica rubber washers. But I was pretty sure that's what I was going to find. Everything else underneath here looks pretty good. The chain does need adjustment. We'll get you heavy mechanical guys on chain adjustment, but the sprockets are really good. Little bit of oil coming out around the end of the gear case there, indicating to me it's full of oil, which I definitely like. It might actually be overfilled.